Up, guys? How you doing? This is the Source here. I'm going to be live streaming for you a TJ beat made, well, TJ type beat made live. I don't know if you've seen this before, but if you have, you'll know that I start with a completely blank slate. I don't have any ideas going at all. Beat from scratch, and by the end of it, I'm going to be walking away with the finished product. And I'm going to be taking you through that whole process, trying to explain as much as I can as I go. But if I don't explain something, just make sure you hit me up. Ask me any questions either now or later. If you want to know how I did something, why I did something, any questions at all, feel free to hit me up, because I'm always happy to answer as many questions as possible. I'm going to jump straight into it now, because we may as well. TJ's kind of beat style, he's got like not much going on, like it's very kind of sparse, but the sounds that he uses are really interesting and well layered. So there's going to be quite a bit of that happening. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to start with a piano chord progression. I normally use this piano. But I do feel that it's a little bit, it doesn't have quite enough character, so I'm going to swap that out for a piano that's got, well, I'm going to try and find something that's got a bit more character to it. And I think the one I want to use is going to be the Grandeur by Native Instruments. Doesn't sound that much different. I'm gonna play around the tones a little bit. Oh yeah, that's cool. All right. Now to come up with a progression that's going to work. Not digging that just yet. I want to come up with some cool chord progression. is a solid chord progression. I'm just going to tighten that up. Quick on these guys. My fan on that laptop is going a little bit haywire, so if you're hearing a bit of noise, it's because it is really hot in here. It is 40 something, 46 degrees or something. I can't remember. It's really hot in Melbourne. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that is for you guys, but yeah, look it up, I guess. Really hot. Something weird happening with that pedal. I'm just gonna have a look at what it is. It's like the cool. It's like when the pedal comes on, it gives it more resonance. I think it's because the rest of the piano kind of opens up, or that's what the thing's happening. So I'm just going to edit my sustain control on the pedal just so that it's always coming in just after the note hits, so that we get as much of that like full body resonance as possible. Because this song, well, this beat is all about like tonality, I think, and I want like the biggest tone possible. So I'm just gonna edit that so that it's nice and yeah, that's cool. Also going to add an octave down on the low notes. I just put a little velocity filter thingy on there so that the velocities don't change too much throughout the you don't get those really hard hitting ones and the really quiet ones. There's still a little bit of dynamics there, but I tried to even that out a bit. I'll speed that up a little bit. Sitting at 110 BPM right now. That's cool. All right. Next thing I want to do is add a little bit of reverb. So I'm going to use my Abbey Road Plates reverb, which I love for this kind of stuff. It's got a huge sound to it. really cool thing about the Abbey Road reverb is that you can add like distortion to the actual reverb itself without adding it to the normal sound. So you get like this really cool, like, I don't know, grindy reverb. It's got a lot of texture to it. Final thing I want to add, which I'm going to put before the reverb, and don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a go anyway, is I want to put isotope trash on. Now, this can be a really aggressive sounding plugin, but I'm going to try and find a way to make it like not too aggressive. It's going to kind of put it in the background. That's cool. Alright, so So I'll put that real low in the mix. So all it's doing is just adding a little bit of stuff to the top end, and it's kind of like fades in a little bit more towards the end of the beat. Sorry, the chord progression sustain. Really subtle, but I feel it's stuff like that that's gonna give this beat a little bit more vibe than your standard like piano sound that doesn't really have, like, just sounds like piano. This one feels like got quite a bit of push to it. Now I want to layer some sounds up in here. So I've got that first piano, and I think the next sound I want to put on is going to be like a real fucking like dark synth tone. So I'm going to go about trying to find something that's going to work for me with that. I'm going to take a bit of playing around, I think, to get the kind of sound that I want, but we'll see what happens, eh? I haven't used this guy much, so oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Let's put that there, and I'll turn it way down because chances are it's going to be way too loud. that is not the kind of synth I want, but I'll see what they got in terms of pads and stuff. I actually like that. That's really cool. So I'm going to get rid of the low notes on that, and I'm also going to double up the octaves on this to give it a little bit more vibe. Cool stringy sound. Also just going to rip out some of the high end on this. And on top of that, also going to put a bit of chorus as well, so that it's got a bit of width to it. So for this, I'm going to use the Sigmund. This is like more of a delay effect unit. It's a bit of everything, but it can do some really cool chorus sounds. So I'm going to use that's cool. Yeah, I like that. From here, I'm going to start adding some basses. I want to layer a few different basses to kind of get a cool sound out of it. First one I'm going to do is, I think, just going to be an 808. Let's try that. Real simple. And I think I'll throw a multi-pass on that. So this is just a bit of a compression driver, just to like give it a bit more beat. And I also want to extend out the length of this a little bit more, so that it's got a bit more to go. Hopefully you guys can hear that. There's a lot of sub. And now we're going to, I want to get a bit more of an interesting bass sound, so I'm gonna have a look in Massive, see what I can find in here. I'm not sure if there'll be something that I want, but it's kind of cool. I'm just going to take off the attack of this guy because there's a lot of attack already on that 808 sample, so you don't really need that coming through on this guy. I'm going to play around with it a little bit as well with the tone, but I'm just going to start with getting rid of the attack. Where are you, envelope? Sometimes I don't know how to do this. How do I get rid of that? All right, that is just low end. That is so down there that I feel like I need to add a little bit of distortion to it so that when we bring it into like you're listening to it on something that doesn't have a massive sub, you can still get a little bit of a vibe of what the bass is doing. That is pretty filthy, to be honest. So this is cool. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm just adding a little bit of reverb to that bass. I know you're not supposed to add reverb to bass, but it just gives it so much more depth and character. And I like this plate reverb for that reason. It's got a bit of modulation on it, a bit of width to kind of like make this bass like a part of the whole thing. Just gonna pull out the low end frequencies of the reverb itself. Up to like 200 hertz. Now, yeah, it's cool. That's kind of as far as I want to go right now with the sounds. I might add something else later, like the chords and stuff, but I want to get into the beat a bit more right now. So yeah, I'm going to I really like that clap sound. So I'm going to be layering up some stuff, but I'm going to start with this clap. Real simple. Nothing too intense there. Although do want to edit the sounds of that a little bit, so I might as well do that now. I'm going to start by pulling out some of the, put a bit of filter on there. kicks. Just gonna copy paste that. Back. That's cool. I dig that. I do want to add another kick that's got a bit more of a knocky sound. So I'm just going to find one just like that. Kick. That's the one. Big 707. So I'm just going to copy that. That's cool. Kind of cool. All right, I think I can just draw this in. How's everybody doing? You all enjoying the stream? Give us a thumbs up or wave or something if you're digging what's going on. Probably bored shitless. That's cool. Cool sound. A little bit too bright, so I'm just going to put a filter on it. Yeah, darken it up a bit. Alright, let's do that. Cool. A little bit too early there. Get rid of that. Just put some reverb on that as well. Maybe put some reverb on it. I don't care. Just a little bit of flavor with some snares there, but we'll turn them down. and also going to filter out a whole bunch of the highs on these as well. Instead of just that kind of filtering, I'm going to add a filter freak, which is the by Sound Toys, and we're going to have a little bit more of a modulation with it. So I'm going to set up a LFO. Actually, yeah, let's do this. So I was doing one. And it's really doing that much more than what I had before. I haven't been talking for a little bit. I also put a Mondo mod on there, which changes amplitude, frequency modulation, and pan in a bit of a creative way. So it kind of jumps around a little bit there, which is a really cool effect that I like to use just to kind of give that a bit of movement, so it's not just sitting right dead in the center there. I've turned the mix down a little bit, so it's got a bit of a chorusing effect too, so it kind of like plays around the stereo field a bit. Alright, so the last thing I want to do is add a little bit of a melody to this whole thing. Not sure on what yet. It might be like an organ sound. There we go. Definitely not whatever I was doing there. That sounded trash. Just a bit of a extra melody in there that we can pull in and out. I'm going to put that way, way down in the I'm going to throw a stereo ping pong delay on that. So that's going to be jumping around the stereo field a little bit. Cool. Digging where we're going right now with it. We're in a good space, especially frequency-wise, and I'm pretty happy with the overall tone of the where the beat's at. So I'm now going to start arranging it. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all of the tracks that I'm not using. So that we've just got like a pretty clean slate to work with. And we're not using up any processing that could potentially like mess up my processing power of my computer. It takes a lot of processing for this. All right, so I'm going to start with just the piano by itself. And then have that bass come in halfway through. have the whole thing come in. Just gonna have it like just fall off at the very end there. So getting rid of that whole, I'm gonna put that last note by itself. Oh, that sounds shit. Just put that note by itself. Sorry to my Instagram fam. I know that it cut out just then, so I've just restarted that stream so y'all can see it. Definitely need some swells going up in here. So I'm going to throw some rises in at the start of each chorus, as is tradition. Because they just make everything sound better. So this is the intro with a riser coming into it. I'm pretty stoked with how this is sounding. So I'm going to throw my beat tag on it, and I think I'm going to call it a day. Because it is a pretty solid track right now. So I'm going to be finishing this up pretty soon after I play through the whole thing. If you dig the track, if you want to buy it, please let me know. It's going to be on sale in about a month's time, but if you want to hit me up before that to grab it, definitely do, and we'll sort you out. If you have any questions about it or any of my other beats, just let me know. I'm happy to answer anything. And if you, oh shit, actually before I bounce this out, I just got to do a quick master. I mean, I know that it's sounding pretty good, so just gonna do a bit of compression on this guy. Didn't need that much. It's a pretty solid sounding track from start to finish, so that's cool. All right, so now I'm going to play it through start to finish. If you want to buy it, it's called Jojen. Hit me up, let me know what you think. I'm going to play it through start to finish. If you have any questions about my process, please just hit me up, let me know what you feel, anything you want to know. And yeah. This is Jojen, Lil Tjay type beat. Check it out. that is it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. Please hit me up if you have any more questions, as I've said before about 1,000,000 times. So, yeah, catch you next time. There'll be more of these to come.